Okay.
I'm missing
Who
an
did you
eye.
talk to? What you learned?
I talked to two guys from the advertising business. A chief creator. I'm sorry. His name is Brian Eckhoff. He's the founder and president of Texas Creative, advertising company here in San Antonio. And he brought his colleague, Josh Norman, who's also a creative director there. Brian Eckhoff will be the founder and the owner and everything like that. I started by asking about his background, like what kind of education he went and got. He actually he graduated with a bachelor's and commercial art degree at the Southwest Texas State University.
No, Texas State.
Texas State, yes, so he said. This was in 1980, yeah. He said,
they changed the name.
And he started off at a publishing company, and then he worked as an art director, starting the art directing. There was no art director at that company at that time, so he came in as the art director, and then that with ambitions to be a CD one day. So, and Josh Norman's story was similar. He has a bachelor's in communication arts. He went to Texas Lutheran. It's Texas. Yeah, it's Texas Lutheran University now, and
I know him. He was one of my former students.
No way, he's cute.
Oh my God.
Josh Norman.
Years. Yeah, I was there in 91, 90 through 92.
Yeah, he's a little younger than the other guy, but
yeah.
I didn't ask that.
Talented though.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to get his number from you.
Oh, okay.
Small world.
So some of the things that I asked him, like, what are the benefits of the job? And initially he said the money, and I was like, oh, okay. You know, that's the answer I expected. But he also said that, like, being able to meet new people, and some people go to work and you do the same thing every day. And his job, he creates logos, he creates brochures, he goes on commercial sets, he creates commercials, he goes on, you know, like how movie placements, they do the advertising, he does that, like he's everywhere.
Product placement?
Yes, so he gets to go on a lot of different sets. His accounting team does the same thing. You know, they bring in the clients. That's another thing I was curious about, like, where do you get clients from? You know, when you see an ad, you don't get like this was created by Josh Norman, so you don't see that. He says just basically, good people good people make good money, and mediocre people make mediocre money. So you do good work and you'll get recognized, and you know, networking. Everybody has said that, like meeting people, and he's met people from personal relationships to get clients. He's met people through existing relationships, through vendors to get clients, photographers, you know, anybody that's basically somebody or has something to do with what he's doing. He says, one tip for me is to like join organizations and groups if I want to start getting any kind of connections. So I'm like, well, where do I get those from? You know, and he's like, finish college, you know, get your degree because you need that.
And also there's the PRSA we talked about, Public Relations Society of America, but there's also an advertising
AAF?
Advertising Federation, SAAF, I believe it's called, San Antonio Advertising Federation. And they have an annual award ceremony called the Addies, where they like recognize local talent. It's almost like the Oscars, but for local, like, you know, first place TV ad, first place radio ad, first place magazine. So go to that.
Brian was just recognized for it's like the American Advertising Federation or something like that.
So then there's that's the national. So if you win locally, then they send you up to national. So he won that?
Yeah, he won that. And, you know, when I initially reached out to him, you know, how I chose the person that I wanted to find, because there's a lot of advertising companies to choose from. I wanted to go and talk to somebody like really good. And so I did my research on him. I looked him up on LinkedIn, and I got his email that way because there was no, you know, initial email on his on the website. Yeah, so I contacted him after I did some research on him, and I was like, hey, congratulations or whatever. He was like, hey, thank you, and he contacted me right back. So it was like less than 24 hours to get him to contact me back. But it did take a week to actually sit down. We met at a restaurant. I didn't go to the
agency.
Yeah, I don't know. I kept asking. I asked like 2 or 3 times in the email, and he was like, well, it'd be best if we met somewhere, because I'm always busy. I mean, we were supposed to meet one day, but we couldn't because he says his day by 10 o'clock, he's done 10 different things. And so, you know, day to day, he doesn't really know what what's next. So he's
What
getting
advice did he give you? Like, finish college.
Finish college was one, and some advice that he gave me was just to, you know, do what you love, and if you're good at it, then you'll make good money. Like, don't give up on your dreams, and basically, if you want to do it, you will.
What about the business?
The advice
aspect?
Another part of the advice that he said, like, when you go into an interview is to ask for the job. You know, like, don't go and give them your whole portfolio, and make sure you have things in your portfolio. Make sure you're prepared and ask for the job, you know. Him being the CEO, I'm thinking I'm going to come and ask him for the job whenever, when I'm done. Yeah, so I'm like, remember you told me.
The job.
Exactly.
That's true though, right? You have to be bold, right?
Yeah.
Don't be, like I said, your mother's not going to be there saying, oh, please hire her, she's so great. You got to do it for yourself.
He says you have to brand yourself. It's like you have to brand yourself, and you know, once you got a brand for yourself, you have to sell yourself just like the product. So it was interesting that I asked him what's one of his favorite ads right now. It's so funny. The Rob Lowe commercials were his funny. There wasn't any fun of it. I was like, oh, that's so cool. And he said that even before that, like the creative commercials before that, where they were like, if you do this, you're in a ditch, and da da da. So like he remembers even those commercials. Thought that was cool. Some big projects that he's worked on were like Church's Chicken. He says, you know, you made it when you see your logos in the trash. So like, you know, you throw it away at churches.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. They did the church's logo.
Yeah. Lance Armstrong, he did some promotions like on the
Live
things
Strong.
that he worked. Yeah, Live
Yeah.
Strong. Yeah, he did a lot of different things.
It sounds like you had a great
I did. It was great.
That's good.